Israel just took out 3 more high-ranking Hamas terrorist leaders. This time, however, they were sons of the top Hamas leader, Ismail Haniyeh. Also, Joe Biden did an interview with a Spanish TV network in which he not only strongly criticized Netanyahu, but he also condemned Israel for the airstrike that killed 7 aid workers last week. Also, an update on what is going on with Iran. Stay tuned. I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Great to be back with you guys here again on today's show. First off, make sure to subscribe wherever you're watching, whether it's here on YouTube or Rumble or listening on podcast platforms. Give us a follow there. Also, like this video, hit the notification bell so you never miss any of the content of the Israel Guys. Also, go check out our social media pages. Give us a follow there. So on Wednesday, Arab media reported that an Israeli airstrike in northern Gaza, I believe, it took out 3 sons of the top Hamas leader, Ismail Haniyeh. The strike also took out several of his grandchildren, apparently. According to Gaza's Hamas-affiliated Shihab news agency, the strike, which reportedly targeted a vehicle, killed 3 of Haniyeh's sons and an identical number of his grandchildren. Hazem, Amir, and Mohammed Haniyeh, no, they weren't just his sons, they were all active members of the terrorist organization Hamas. There's not a whole lot of details out about this yet, but one of them was actually involved in holding Israeli hostages. One of them was a cell commander, and the other 2 were military operatives. So one was actually holding, there's not a whole lot of details out yet, but one of them was probably holding Israeli hostages, if not in his home, or helping to facilitate that in any way. There's a video circulating social media right now that I saw. This is the video of Ismail Haniyeh, I believe it's in Qatar, right when he received the news that his sons were killed. Watch this.
الله يسهل عليهم الله يسهل عليهم يعني إن شاء الله ربنا يسهل يلا ليش كمل.
He told Al Jazeera that they died, quote, on the way to the liberation of Jerusalem and Al-Aqsa Mosque, and that he was thankful for the honor that my children and grandchildren are martyrs. Couple things in this statement that he made. First off, they died on their way to the liberation of Jerusalem and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. That should tell you something. This whole attack that Hamas did on October 7th, they're calling the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And it doesn't really make sense to the rest of the world why they do that. But they're fighting for the Temple Mount. Literally all comes down to a spiritual thing. Israel of fighting for the Temple Mount, and the Muslims trying to take back control of the Temple Mount, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Also, he said that his children are martyrs. No, sorry, they're not martyrs in any way. Just 3 more terrorists taken out, and very good riddance. We're going to talk a little bit about Joe Biden's interview with Univision. Wild interview, absolutely crazy. On Tuesday, the Spanish language television network, Univision, they aired an hour-long interview that was pre-recorded on April 3rd. I watched most of this interview. Very liberal, this news organization, agreeing with Joe Biden a lot. I think they spent a couple days with him touring the White House, doing different stuff. But I want to show you a clip because this is, he made some quite strong statements, to say the least. Watch this video here.
I think what he's doing is a mistake. I don't agree with his approach. I think it's outrageous that those three vehicles were hit by drones and taken out on a highway where it wasn't like it was along the shore. It wasn't like there was a convoy moving there, et cetera. So what I'm calling for is for the Israelis to just call for a ceasefire, allow for the next 6-8 weeks total access to all food and medicine going into the country.
We don't have time to get into the rest of the interview. I just wanted to show you that short clip about what he said about Netanyahu. The rest of the interview, he was lying about different stuff that's going on in America, lying about Donald Trump, of course, and a multitude of other things. But as you saw in that clip, he said he strongly disagrees with Netanyahu, and he also condemned Israel. He said, I think it's outrageous those three vehicles were hit by drones and taken out on a highway. How about instead of condemning Israel, why don't you start condemning Hamas and the Palestinian Authority for the terror attacks that have been happening in Israel? Guys, we're going to talk about what is going on with Iran, but first, I want to give you a quick reminder about our first ever Israel Guys Summit Israel Conference that we are hosting in Nashville, Tennessee, May 20th through the 22nd. We're hosting the Israel Summit at the Sonesta Hotel. We would love to see every single one of you guys there. We have a whole incredible lineup of speakers, a lot of them from Israel, from the biblical heartland, coming straight from the source, giving accurate information from Israel. Also some VIPs, top people speaking there. Also a full concert by Israeli musician Yair Levy. It's going to be an absolutely incredible time. We're going to be showing a lot of videos that we've produced, cutting edge content, even maybe some sneak peeks from upcoming movies. Guys, please sign up for the Israel Summit May 20th through the 22nd in Nashville, Tennessee. You can go to theisraelguys.com/summit or click the link in the description below. So what is going on with Iran? According to Axios, the senior U.S. military commander in charge of the Middle East, General Eric Kurilla, is expected to arrive in Israel today to coordinate around a possible attack on Israel by Iran and its proxies. This visit is coming as Iranian officials have publicly threatened to retaliate against Israel for an attack in Syria. Last week, they killed a top Iranian general. Ben did a full show on this last week. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. According to Arutz Sheva, Israeli officials say they are preparing for a possible unprecedented direct attack against Iran from Iranian soil using ballistic missiles, drones, and cruise missiles against Israeli targets. In such a scenario, Israel will retaliate with its own direct attack against Iran, the officials said. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said on Wednesday that Israel made a mistake by attacking the Iranian consulate in Damascus and killing the general. He said, quote, Israel must be punished and they will pay for their mistakes. So it seems like things might be heating up in regards to Israel and Iran right now. There's a report that the GPS system in Israel is actually not working at all, with the IDF most likely jamming the system to deter Iranian strikes and deter Iranian attacks coming in. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a visit to the Tel Nof Air Base, he said, quote, we are in challenging times. We're in the midst of the war in Gaza, which is continuing at full force, even as we are continuing our relentless efforts to return our hostages. However, he continued, we are prepared for scenarios involving challenges in our sectors. We have determined a simple rule: whoever harms us, we will harm then we are prepared to meet all of the security needs of the state of Israel, both defensively and offensively. Guys, more details will be coming out soon, probably in the next couple days. We will try to keep you updated as best we can. Meanwhile, continue to pray for Israel as they are in this uncertain times in regards to Iran. Also, with the war still going on in Gaza, also still going on the northern front with Hezbollah. Guys, before we close out the show, I have this crazy video to show you. Well, remember that story close to the beginning of the war about the alleged Israeli airstrike that struck the hospital in Gaza, killing 500 people? The mainstream media went absolutely berserk. They went crazy over this story. They wrote multiple headlines saying 500 people killed in Gaza airstrike. You know, there were tons of pictures put out about the supposed airstrike. It was proved afterwards Israel did not bomb the hospital, 500 people did not die, and it was a failed rocket launch attempt by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad that struck the hospital. Even after all this was proved, most of the mainstream media did not even take down their articles about the story. Look it up, search it on Google. You'll find multiple news headlines about this still up on the internet today. Well, now the media has even less of an excuse to keep these headlines up. Watch this crazy video.
بتناقشوا في الرسالة. احنا شو يعني صحيح هاي الرواية غير صحيحة ولكن احنا بدنا نمررها. مثلا هيك القرار بصير. اوكي وبعد القرار كيف بتصير هي على ارض الواقع؟ على ارض الواقع لازم تروح للعلاقات الاعلامية. نموذج لإشي زي هذه اللي صار اللي انت ذاكره. نموذج زي اللي صار مثلا لما صار في بداية الحرب هاي. بداية الحرب مش وقع في المعبدين صاروخ. اوكي. هو صاروخ محلي وقالوا انه اسرائيلي. اللي انفجر يعني يعني جاري كانوا يطلقوه. ايوه. وانفجر. بالبداية انا ذاكر. اوكي. هذا امر عشان نمحي الرواية. الحركة عملت رواية معينة، لا هذا من عند الاحتلال، والاستهداف كان بشكل مباشر، وهناك تصوير وهناك زاوية، واستندوا على أكثر من رواية من بعض الروايات الأجنبية، الصحف الأجنبية. أوكي، وبعدين وزعوها لكل الدنيا. أوكي.
That was the spokesman for the Palestinian Islamic Jihad literally admitting how they lied, how the people in the hospital lied, how they used this story to manipulate the media. Guys, I guess the conclusion from this story is you could say, don't always believe everything you see on the mainstream media, especially these days. There's a lot of lies out there. Even months after it was proved that it was true, most of the mainstream media, they still kept up their headlines because sadly, a lot of times they do not care about the truth. Guys, continue to pray for Israel. Pray for their defense as there's a lot more threats coming against them right now. Pray for Israel's leaders for wisdom. Pray for the IDF defense forces to have strength to do what they need to do. Guys, please consider making the effort to come to Nashville, Tennessee on May 20th to join the Israel Summit, to say that you support Israel, you stand with Israel's right to defend themselves, and you say that the whole land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people. You can go to theisraelguys.com/summit or click the link in the description below. As always, don't forget to subscribe, get the conversation going down below. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Tune out the fake news and tune into what is actually happening here in the land of Israel. We'll be back every day, Monday through Friday, with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.